These creeps and I are kind of in the same situation. Okay, we're at completely different spectrums when it comes to this, but we don't have any kids. Okay, look at these people. You think they're reproducing, okay, or even have the biological capacity to? I do on one hand, but, my selection of bitches around this place is a little bit low quality, okay? Doesn't mean that I'm not out there doing my stuff, but hey, would I decide to procreate with any of them? No, dilute my good genes? Please give me a break. No, I'm just saying, man, because these guys are going after the kids, and you can really survey the landscape of any of these people who are just so devout about pushing the rainbow agenda on kids. It raises more red flags than a Tiananmen Square protest, okay? They're coming for your kids, and I got a follow-up joke in another article that we're going to be talking about here really quickly that would, making a joke in conjunction with that would maybe make Richard Pryor blush. So I'll just go ahead and say they're coming for your kids, and it's very, very obvious at this point. And one piece of good life advice before we go into any of this, okay, whenever I see these protesters that are out there, they aren't really conventionally attractive, okay, on any conceivable scale that you could say. The best ones about them, I don't know if they're getting paid to be there or if they're just fresh into liberal arts degrees, okay, 19-year-old kids that have just been recently indoctrinated. You know what, hey, maybe some broads that might have a bit of a chance before you get too deep into that first semester before they put on 15 pounds and then have the equivalent amount of hair color put in. It becomes a really, really low return on investment proposition to try to resuscitate them in any form or fashion. But these are the people who are just constantly pushing, we need trans rights. Which rights are they missing? So which ones do you specifically want for trans people? Okay, no, it's whenever you see one of these movements, we just want equality or wherever they're at right now. Just always listen to them and listen really what they're asking for, because at the end of the day, whatever their little pet project is, it's always for that group's supremacy. Okay. And then again, surveying the landscape of these degenerates. It's a piece of good life advice and something where I don't know necessarily where I heard it, but I really like it and I adopt it and use it, okay? You take a look at these people, you take a look at their lifestyles, you take a look at all of their accomplishments, okay? And then you look at them and you think to yourself, and this is a saying, like I said, can't pinpoint it. Maybe somebody else there can. That's fine. Why are you taking criticism from somebody who you wouldn't be taking advice from? All right. I wouldn't take advice from any of those people in there. Okay. I'd listen to what they have to say and silently chuckle, or maybe if they say something so just outrageously outlandish, I might just laugh audibly in their face. And you know what? Hey, none of those fucking cretins have hands anyways, so at 6.5 feet tall, 2 and change, I think I could probably handle myself, especially look at all of those hunchbacks and Elton John glasses. I think I'll be fine. But let's get into what they're trying to push right now, because we know all about I think Kamala Harris was on some kick about, actually, you know what, I'll go ahead and I'll pull that up, okay? This is marching orders from their cackling queen, so they take notice of this, okay? Because somebody's got to be paying attention to Kamala Harris, because I don't know anybody else who has fucking even just a drop of logic who's paying attention to what this fucking bitch is up to. But still, Kamala Harris says Florida's don't say gay law, again, 7 pages long, doesn't once mention gay, straight, bisexual, pansexual, cookie sheet sexual, whatever the fuck. They don't mention anything in there. Just don't talk about sex to kids. Simple. But no, it's don't say gay, because that's what Disney says and corporate overlords, and that's who pays our fucking campaign finances. Whatever. The law prevents teachers from being able to love openly. It's so nice that you just came out there and said it. Your teachers want to fuck your students. And these students are grade kids. So thanks for just putting that out there, Kamala. She's never been the most eloquent or really thought out speaker. So you know what? Hey, I wouldn't put this past her. This is definitely something she could be saying without understanding the underlying context. And tears into so-called leaders passing immoral abortion bans. Yeah, no, exactly. So, yes, Kamala Harris on one hand is advocating for fucking kids, and then at the other, killing babies. So, you know what, hey, at least she's consistent, okay? And if they get to a certain age, she'll make sure that they end up serving hard time for drug offenses. But yeah, no, and then just laugh about smoking pot and listening to Snoop Dogg 7 years before he ever released an album. She's a really smart lady. State-sponsored Stonewall Okay, that's the organization. You've probably heard of Stonewall, I think in New York City or something like that. It's one of those famous gay places, okay, that's just devolved into now all of that. Okay, children aged 2 can be trans. Kids that can barely vocalize whether they're hungry or just shit their pants, okay? They can be trans. Nurseries should teach gender identity. Okay, let's break this down a little bit before we get into the context of the article here. They want the government to have full control over the kids. They're coming for your kids, and they can raise them better than the parents can. That's their entire agenda. It's so fucking patently obvious at this point. This isn't a conspiracy theory. You don't even have to have the crazy map with all of the red string connecting the different dots that's out there. This is just so fucking obvious. All you need to do is just read the text of what they're fucking saying, and we might as well do that. Far left, state-funded Stonewall organization says children as young as 2 can be trans, and gender identity should be taught in nursery schools. No, I vehemently disagree, but let's see what their point of view is. Okay, maybe they've got some points. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. They just want to fuck these kids, okay? If they're going to make stupid claims like this, I'm just going to go ahead and fucking give up the ghost on this. This is what they're after. Them fucking preschool cheeks. This week, an unnamed mother penned an article in the Metro newspaper about the allegedly gender non-conforming 4-year-old daughter. Again, yes, no, I'm an anonymous lady and I don't need any attention for this, okay? And I'm sure your 4-year-old came up to you and said, Mom, I feel like I am just, you know what, really just on the spectrum when it comes to this. I don't feel comfortable in my feminine frame, and I feel like I would be more accustomed to being a non-traditional gender-affirmed person. And then everybody stood up at the dinner table and clapped. I'm sure this definitely happened. And how her nursery school failed to respect her supposed transgender identity. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think everybody can relate to this. And you know what? Hey, when I was 4 years, actually, I don't even remember being 4 or anything like that. Fuck, I grew up, and one of my earliest memories, I remember not liking being Ukrainian and wanting to grow up and, oh no, I wanted to be a ninja because those were cool. I think the phrase was, I don't like to be Bukaranian, I want to be a ninja. I think that's what it was. And again, that was probably in on or around 3, 4, 5 years old. Okay, it was definitely pre-K, so you know what, that's what my headspace was at. And now look at me, still Ukrainian, not a ninja, a little too big and a little I can kind of sneak around and don't make a lot of noise when I move, but still, okay, not too proficient with throwing stars. And where the fuck can you practice that in Grand Prairie? There's an axe throwing place. Close enough. Anyways, in response to the article, the leftist LGBTQ plus Stonewall wrote, research empirical data suggests that children as young as 2 recognize their trans identity. Research. Okay, wonderful. Is there a link to this fucking study or propaganda that you're pumping out there? Or do you just get to say, there's research, there's studies, yada, 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 trans kids are real kids, whatever the fuck. Yet, many nurseries and schools teach a binary understanding of pre-assigned gender. Okay, listen, the fucking West is collapsing all around us, and instead of raising the next generation to be productive members of society, okay, maybe trying to correct the fact that the people that have been pumped out of the public school system for fucking decades now at this point come out financially illiterate, economically illiterate, going on and accumulating vast amounts of debt in order to get degrees that'll hang on their wall while they go and put on their fucking Starbucks smock in order to serve caramel macchiatos to high school dropouts who figured out how the financial system works. Okay, instead of using that massive sample size, you can take a look, okay? I would imagine there's probably a lot of fucking college educated people that are in there that have no idea how the fucking world works, but they want to change it. Ugh. But yeah, no, instead of correcting those problems that we had in the past, no. Toddlers can be trannies. Remember, guys, oh no, this just used to be a kink. What happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom, right? Sure thing. LGBTQ inclusive and affirming education is crucial for the well-being of all young people. No, it's not. No, it's not. And even still, okay, it would help the rainbow kids that are out there. The 0.0 what percent? Yeah, no, exactly. Why is it that we have to continue to change policy because a couple of fucking weirdos might be affected? And again, it's not like, oh, let's play, yeah, fuck it, I'll say it. There used to be a game that we would play on recess in middle school. Somebody would have a football, okay, they'd either punt it or they'd throw it up in the air, and then on the other side, okay, there would be a whole bunch of people. They'd be looking to catch the punt or the Hail Mary, okay. You'd catch it, and then you just try to get past the kicker, try to get past the thrower. Long and short of that, okay, we used to call it smear the queer, because, of course, I was a part of the last generation that kind of knew what the fuck fun was, okay? So we would do that at recess. It was a hell of a lot of fun, okay? And yeah, man, that's what they think they're going to be doing to kids if they don't teach them about how chopping off their dick will make them feel better. Unfucking believable. Contrary to the claims from Stonewall, studies have found that most children who display transgender tendencies grow out of that phase as they age. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't keep in contact with, fucking, maybe there's some trans activists above my fucking head here. The airport's like on the other side of fucking town, but I just hear the landing gear being deployed right above my fucking head. Anyways, that aside, I'm not in touch with anybody from high school, okay, but I knew growing up there were a couple more butchy girls that were there, okay, and, you know, they didn't dress up or anything like that, and I've seen them progress through high school and then get progressively hotter once they went through puberty. Imagine that, right? Making all of these life-changing decisions in the little pocket of time where kids can't even properly decide what they want to have for dinner, let alone doing just mind-boggling changes to their body, okay, in that same period of time. It doesn't make sense at all. There's just nothing to back this up. It's so fucking stupid. It's just the perfect submission. It's the perfect example of the secession of ideology, or rather the understanding of topics, ceding that ground to the people who run on emotionality, as opposed to the people who conduct themselves in a rational, reasonable way, okay? Oh, there's a study that's out there. There's one study as opposed to the field of research, all of the lived experience of people that are out there that's like, yeah, no, I had a tomboy cousin who grew up to be a nurse and have a family, okay? Or a friend who used to play with Barbies and action figures and then grows up to be Chad Chatterson, okay? Like, holy. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's the long and short of it, okay? But you guys already know that at this point. This just, once again, reaffirms that, and it gives me an opportunity to just fucking run off at the mouth. But anyways, contrary to the claims of the Stonewall, studies found that most children who display transgender tendencies grow out of it as they age. A 2021 study. See, you can just go ahead and you can get contradictory evidence that's out there. Yeah, no, exactly. So then you just have to go with the preponderance of the evidence, and the long and short of it is, this shit doesn't fucking work. But anyways, the study, yes, University of Toronto of gender dysphoric boys, for example, found that only 17 of the 139 participants persisted in their transgender expression, as opposed to 122, 87.8%, who reverted back to traditional gender norms. Okay, and then of that 17, okay, statistically, okay, you shouldn't be making exceptions or massive changes based off of 12.2%. It makes no fucking sense, okay? There is no way in hell you would be doing that. But I would just also wonder, okay, what does it mean for traditional gender norms, okay? And what would be the extent in order to get the proper satiation of attention in order to continue to pursue this transgender expression, okay? Are you going to go through the surgery? Are you going to be taking the hormones? Or do you just want to be on the spectrum so that you can have pronouns in your bio and then everybody can kiss your ass because you're a victim and you have a mental health problem? Hashtag depressed. Don't know, don't care, figure it the fuck out. Though some governmental organizations have distanced themselves from Stonewall over its radical positions on transgenderism, and former Minister for Women and Equalities turned Prime Ministerial hopeful. That's not a word you use often. Okay, Liz Truss, has called for the department to follow suit. The charity, she still receives the backing of the Foreign Office and Equalities offices, and both the Scottish and Welsh, sorry, regional devolved governments. Oh, okay, this is the Stonewall UK chapter, not that weird gay bar in New York. I think that's where it is. Anyways, the charity has also come under criticism from Simon Fashwashi, Order of the British Empire, one of 6 founders of the group in 1989, who said earlier this year that its stance on transgenderism is threatening to undermine the gains made for gay people. Yeah, no, exactly. You took on that whole extra problem, okay? Because when it comes to specifically sexuality, the LGB, okay, that's the only part, and then the rest of it just gets fucking, you just delve into mental illness, let's be fair. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just, you know what, hey, there should be a clear line of demarcation, okay? Because being gay, okay, being a lesbian, being bisexual doesn't require any hormone blockers, doesn't require any surgery that's out there, okay? Well, unless, of course, you know, certain holes aren't the proper size and all that kind of extra shit. But, you know. But when you start to delve into the trans part and everything else that's down there, I identify as a deer. That's why I need to have surgically implanted antlers. Like, get the fuck out of here. Hopefully you make like a deer and then somebody's just trying to pick your fur out of their grill. But anyways, more about the Alphabet community because they're just so goddamn consistent on things. This one doesn't make any sense, but again, these people don't make fucking sense. LGBTQ NATO. Sorry, what? Send arms to Ukraine to make pride in Mariupol possible. Huh, okay. Make pride in Mariupol possible. Okay, send more money, send more troops and resources and all of that shit. Send it all over there, okay, because apparently $40 billion and the extra payments, it's more or less, at this point, it's about 40 and change, 41, $42 billion that have been sent over to Ukraine. And you know what, hey, Russia, they're going to be losing any day now, right? Yeah, no, eventually, if you just send enough money and enough resources over there, it'll look less like a Ponzi scheme and, you know what, hey, it's a money laundering operation. Yeah, no, nothing like that, no, of course not, no. But, yeah, all of your pride gimmicks, it's not recognized in Ukraine, so if you think by arming people, they're gonna go ahead and be like, yes, thank you for rounds, comrade. Yes, trans women are women. I agree. Now get the fuck out. I don't think that's really gonna work, so you're gonna have to go ahead and try to think that out a little bit further. Protesters at an LGBTQ event in Berlin. Oh, oh Lord. I remember when Germans used to stand and salute for something. In Berlin, have demanded that Ukraine is armed in order to allow the Russian-occupied city of Mariupol to host a pride parade. You don't want to end the conflict or anything like that, okay? You don't want to have Zelensky fucking finally come to the table and resolve all of this fucking nonsense, okay? You don't want to do any of that. No. You just want queers marching in the street. Good for you. Good for you. I'm not saying all that shit. That's a lot of extra shit. Demonstrators at a pride event in Berlin have demanded that weapons are sent to Ukraine in order to enable the country's rulers to liberate the port city of Mariupol and host a pride parade there. Yeah, no, exactly. Don't, just send all the arms, send the resources over there in order to push back the Russians and then have a parade. Yeah, no, okay, you push back the Russian invasion, okay, you won a battle or something, you want to throw a celebration, that's all great. But no, they want a rainbow celebration. Never give these fucking creeps an inch, okay? And that's all these people care about, okay? They just want to have their little 15 minutes of fame. They want their attention. They want to have their Instagram story. They want to post on gay Twitter, okay? And I mean that by the section of Twitter, not the entire platform, which is, I would have much more derogatory terms if I was going to be talking about the entire platform, but you got what I mean, okay? They want to get the validation from the people, okay? Because all of these people, they're just looking for fucking attention. Daddy didn't love them. Mom was too busy getting dicked down by everybody in the neighborhood to give a fuck about them, okay? And nobody gave a shit about them until they adopted the rainbow. They were born by the rainbow, molded by it, and then they'll die lonely with a bunch of cats that don't care about them and then eat their corpse. Just saying, life sucks. Invest in Friskies. But yeah, theoretically, okay, and I don't support Ukraine at all in this one, okay? The people, it sucks that they're dying and all that stuff, but your fucking leadership's getting a little bit too tyrannical for my tastes, okay? So And again, I take a look at all of the different supporters that are out there, and then on the balance of the different groups, then I'll, you know what, hey, maybe I might find a little bit more of a preference for one side or another. But you can even go back to some of my first videos when it came to the Russian-Ukraine conflict, and I've taken my side early and often and reasserted it even before all of these different outlets decide to fucking flip the script on this, because even the Breitbart, okay, even they were talking about how Putin was bad man. Yeah, no, exactly. And there's one motherfucker who keeps it 100 all the time, and you're looking at him. Not to toot my own horn here, but still, okay, they're the alphabet groups, okay, a big old pride parade, okay, because again, Germany's just a little bit too protected by everybody else around the world. Looking at you, US, and how many military bases that are around there, okay, so they have a lot of extra time on their hands, okay. And wouldn't you think they would maybe try to resuscitate their own group's flagging image at the greater context? What do I mean by that? Take a look, okay. Monkeypox strikes 2 children on opposite coasts of the United States. Okay, and I know that was Berlin, but just taking a look at the movement, and I mean that in all sense of the words, we're looking at it at large, okay, what should they be doing when it comes to all this stuff, okay, talking about wanting to indoctrinate the kids, okay, wanting to arm Ukrainian neo-Nazis. Okay, but what about this? What about this? This is kind of a little bit troubling, and we're going to have another topic on this sometime later this week. Don't know when the video is going to come out, but yeah, this'll tie in, unfortunately, too nicely. Okay, it'll fit in like a attendee at a Roman Polanski pool party into a 13-year-old. It'll be snug. After infecting nearly 3,000 people in the United States, 2 children have now contracted the monkeypox virus. And we know how that transmits. Okay, so, okay, maybe, okay, trying to take the best faith interpretation of this. We got some explaining to do. The 2 children, an infant and a toddler, okay, so like real young kids, were on opposite coasts of the United States when diagnosed. Okay, so 2 different outbreaks. Maybe this is serious. And then you take a look at the symptoms and realize it's like, why the fuck is it a health emergency? This makes no goddamn sense. But anyways, Center for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky disclosed the news that 2 children became infected with monkeypox this week. The Washington Post reported. She added that those 2 cases are unrelated and occurred in California and Washington, D.C. Oh, I didn't know that part, but California and all its policies. Okay, California and Washington, D.C. And we know their predilection for different things. Like, what kind of food do they like to eat? And they like to go to a certain eatery or something. Like, I've heard some good reviews from some different places. Like, what's some good fast food or something like that? Like some pizza. It's not Rocket Pizza, it's not Moon Pizza, it's not even Asteroid Pizza. Oh, it's Comet Pizza, right? And what do they like? Pepperoni, pineapple? Are they one of those type of people? Do they like a fully loaded, or do they just like cheese pizza? Not entirely sure when it comes to all that stuff, but that's Washington, D.C., and they got that shit to sort out. But no, you got denying of reality when it comes to Janet Yellen out there. I don't know if we're going to be talking about that specifically, but it's like, yeah, the U.S. economy is not in recession. You're in control of the U.S. Treasury, okay? And this is the same bitch who was saying, inflation's going to be transitory, and then a couple of weeks later, it's like, wow, have you guys checked out this inflation shit? It's going to be around for a while. Yeah. Economy's not in a recession. She'll go back and she'll crunch the numbers, and then when it's politically expedient, she'll be like, yeah, no, this recession thing is really wild. Have you guys seen the prices of things? It's fucking crazy. But anyways, going back to this specifically, and how unaware of reality Washington and California are. Walensky reports the infections could be a result of household transmission. Okay, the 2 cases involved a toddler in California and an infant in Washington, D.C. Well, I sure would hope, not that I would hope for this, okay, that these kids, well, actually I do, that these kids do have homes, okay, but knowing how this is normally a sexually transmitted disease between certain types of people, I got questions, okay, and she's got answers, unfortunately. The infant is traveling with a family member who are not residents of the United States. During the interview with the Post, Walensky added that the 2 cases linked to households, buckle up, from the men who had sex with men community. Investigations are ongoing to understand the connection to that community. No. You just run the numbers on that one, okay? And they do down there. I don't need to run all that shit back there, but you guys already know. And again, no pun intended about running shit back. Dr. Jennifer McQuinston, a CDC deputy director for the Division of High Consequence Pathogens and Pathology, told Reuters she is not surprised that pediatric cases of monkeypox emerged. Tread lightly. I wouldn't, but I know your political predilections, so. However, 99% of the 2,891 monkeypox cases in the United States involve men who have sex with men. Oh man, I can't even say that anymore. Man, fucking YouTube became a lot less fun. She added, that a handful of cases where women and transgendered men have become infected. Oh, so scissor sisters rubbing fucking snatch together. How adorable. So yeah, I got some questions, okay, and maybe the Alphabet community, if they were being honest about the people that are inside their own ranks, maybe they would have some answers how a sexually transmitted disease ended up coming in contact, no pun intended, with kids in California, which has a problem with certain proclivities in Washington, D.C., and yeah, man, all the stories that surround there, okay? Your mind can wander when it comes to some sick shit that's out there, but hey, man, they're just laying out the foundation. They're laying out all the groundwork when it comes to this stuff, so people should really fucking sort this shit out before they decide to take on much larger causes. But again, these are just rudderless fucks who are just trying to seek validation from whoever's going to give it, and guess what? Democrats are just all too willing to pander to them. As long as you're going to vote for us, we believe trans men are men, right? And birthing people exist. Sure thing. Just fuck off. And best thing with all of these fucking activists, yeah, no, their bloodlines aren't continuing at all. And some will wrap up quicker than others because of AIDS. Anyways, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.